we've been talking about subtraction. And you know, subtraction is when you have some goes away, so you end up with a smaller number. There are lots of strategies how you can figure out how to subtract. You just have to figure out what works for you and what you like to do, and that's fine as long as you can come up with the right answer. So let's talk about some of those strategies. Some of the strategies we've already talked about. Draw a picture. Let's give an example of that strategy. Let's say I have $6 bills. I give my little brother $2 bills. So, what happens then? Let's draw our circles, because remember that's easier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I draw 6 because that's how many I start off with. But I gave my little brother 2 of those. So I can cross those out. Doesn't really matter which ones you cross out. I just always start at the back because that's easier for me to keep up with. So now I can count. I have 1, 2, 3, $4 bills left. So if I have 6 and I take away 2, now I have 4. I can write that as an equation. You always need to write an equation at the end if you're drawing a picture. I had 6, I took away 2, and that equals 4. Equal just means the same as. It means this side is the same as this side, okay? It really would not matter if I put the 4 first, because they would still be the same, because 6 take away 2 is 4. So one strategy is to draw a picture. Let me erase that one. Now, another strategy we've talked about is using a number line. Now, the boys and girls at school have one on their desk. You can make one to keep at home. There are lots of them you can find online to print out. But if you don't have one, just draw one. We talked about this last week. Mine's only going to go up to 10. When you get to bigger numbers, your number line will have to go up. Most of them just have a little dot, just to make it easier to keep up with your numbers. So let's do that same problem over here. 6 take away 4. Now we already know the answer is 2, but let's see different ways to get that answer. All right, so I started off with 6, so I will start with 6. Let me do a different color so you can see it a little better. I'm going to start at the 6 because I have 6. 2 went away. I gave 2 of those dollars to my little brother. 1, 2. So look where I ended up, on 4. Now I did not start counting on the 6. I started counting when I landed, when I jumped one space. 1, 2. That's important, because if you start counting here, you're going to come up with the wrong answer. That's where you start, but you count when you jump spaces. So that's another way to say that 6 take away 4. I did that wrong. 6 take away 4 equals 2. That is backwards. 6 take away 2 equals 4. I need to change my problem over here. No big deal. I'll just fix it right there, because we got the right answer. But I had my equation wrong. That's a good point. It's always a good idea to go back and double check, because you know what? We all make mistakes. Teachers make mistakes. Students make mistakes. And that's okay. When you catch it, erase it, fix it, no big deal. Another strategy we can use for subtraction. Fingers. Think about it. You always have your fingers with you. You may not have something to draw on. You may not have some blocks to do, and we'll do blocks later. But you've always got your fingers. So, when you're adding or subtracting, the thing to do, find the smaller number. And in this case, the smaller number is 2. So I will put that number on my fingers, 2. The big number is 6, okay? So I will start counting with 6. Now when we did this for adding, we counted forwards because we were getting more. Now we're subtracting. We're counting backwards, okay? So we're gonna start at the big number and count backwards, 2. So I like to touch my head and say the big number. That way I don't want to count my fingers too soon, okay? I don't hit yourself or anything, just touch it gently. 6, 5, 4. And I end up with the answer, 6 take away 2 equals 4. Now, we'll do another one later where we take blocks and count those. You can count pennies, you can count beans, anything. We'll do another one where we'll just do an example of that. But remember, all these are good strategies. Not one of them is better than the other strategy. You figure out what is easy for you, what you understand, and you use that. You know, whichever one it is, that is totally fine. All of them are correct. Good job, guys.